I'm okay.
You ain't gonna smile?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, because I got it rolling already.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I already know. Hey, man, listen, AkronHipHop.com, the Reporter Newspaper Online.com. As you can see, I'm here with the lovely lady who didn't want to smile, but she's smiling anyway, throwing up the peace sign. I'm throwing up the black fist sign. Give me the bump, boom. And listen, real quick, for those that don't know, this is the legendary, the teacher, Miss Debra Calhoun. Before we get into this lesson, I want to let everybody know she's going to be at our Black History event, which is Black Friday. I'm sure she haven't committed it to memory yet because she's so busy. When is it? Okay, the 23rd, my bad. Of February 23rd. Hey, real quick, man, before we go any further, let's handle some business. You do cakes and stuff like that, and jewelry. Tell somebody about it.
Hey, cakes, pies, and fries.
Cake, pies, and fries? How can they get in touch with you if they want some?
Facebook, Designs by Debra. Some of my samples are out there. You can ask everybody about my food. They will tell you. It's on the one.
Well, here we go, man. Here's I asked you a question about traditional marriage on the African continent, and you told me there's not no one traditional. Explain what you was telling me why there's not just one traditional concept that we can see.
Because Africa is a continent. It's not a country. Made up of 12 million square miles of territory, 3.5 times size of the United States. 800 plus languages that are large level languages that are spoken in regions of the continent, and as well you have different dialects, just like the South talk different than the North, the East talk different from the West. What's pop in one part of the world is somebody's dad somewhere else.
Right, what's popping? That's a good one.
You know, pops that's dad, but in the East Coast it's a soda.
Ain't that crazy?
So it depends on where you are that determines what your working language is going to be. So there's a question of dialects. On top of that is questions of time and place and space. Because languages are fluid, like people have been fluid throughout Africa's history. So there is no one example that you can say, well, this is the African epitome of language or of marriage or of this or that. And that's one thing we have to kind of wrap our minds around, because Africa is not one, but it's, again, multi.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The word patriarchal, pronounce it right way, because I know I messed it all up, and tell somebody what it means.
Well, patriarchal means a lineage is by a descendant of one, either in this case, the male. If you say patriarchal, the Latin word is patri, which means father.
Well, all right.
Matriarchy, ma. So even as we call our parents, has that root coming from one gender or the other. Mater, mother, pater, father.
So here on this continent, most of it, we do a patriarchal.
Patriarchal form, and that is to say our descendants, our line is passed through the male.
Okay. So, but you tell me a lot of, am I saying this right? Hold on, I don't know why you intimidating me with this knowledge that you got.
Oh no, it's very simple.
So you telling me most of as far as our experience as Africans here in the wilderness of North America
is under a patriarchal form of organization.
Has there ever been a time where we was under a matriarchal?
Oh, earlier, 10,000 years ago plus.
So what we gonna learn today? What you got here? Get a little closer. What we got here?
Okay, what you see is a simple, small group of a matriarchal group.
Small group.
A small group, meaning there's not a lot of people.
Well, hold it in front of you, like this, like you and.
Oh, I gotta hold it up.
Yeah, you gotta, because now I can see you and the thing.
Oh boy. So what you see is a very simple, small group, and most pre-industrial groups, that is those groups before written word, before technology, always could answer two fundamental questions. One is just some reckless group of people chilling and trying to figure it out, but rather people always had an understanding of who is in the group and who is out of the group.
Okay.
And so in my bottom corner here, I just got there's a couple of the rules that most groups.
Here, let me see this. I'm gonna put it right here. Yeah. See if it's gonna eclipse. Okay, now what's in the bottom?
Oh, what you see in the bottom section of the group, you see several words there. As I mentioned, a matriarchy or a patriarch is what's called a unilineal descent group, meaning only one, uni meaning one. A lot of these have root words that are Latin in base, so blame that, not me.
Okay.
But uni meaning one line or the other. And as we talked, matrilineal or patrilineal. Ma, matrilineal, female, patrilineal, pa, male. That is just to say the line is determined, how you determine your descendants is either one sex or the other.
Okay.
And before the patriarchy, which is recent in our history, we understand and we know that other things determined your lineage. And in the ancient world, in the pre-industrial world, as I tell my class, mama's baby, papa maybe. You always know who a woman or who a baby belonged to because that woman shows signs of pregnancy or lactation or something of that sort that's biologically connected. Because of the fleeting nature of the father's role, not to say it's not important, but the fleeting nature of it meant that, you know, dads hit it and roll. We see this in the animal world, where
Right.
a mother, a feline, a female cub or lion will fight that dad to the death to protect her children. And that's always been the same. Mama's baby, papa maybe. So because of that, we as humans had that same association and relationship that is a matrilineal form of organization because society was divided in terms of labor as to who did what job based on one's gender. Females lended to me more towards a collective and a collaboration just because of the nature of the group being small. Women could network and work with each other, men could go out and hunt. So the earlier form of social organization was what was called like gatherer hunters. That's what I like to call them. Gathering meaning those natural things in the environment that one could eat. The fruits, the nuts, the berries, the roots.
And a steak.
Hard to come by because of technology.
Right.
Remember, the technology is simple. You don't have a gun and you don't have something, you can go shoot something. You have
You had
to
to jump
track
on this
it.
thing, right.
You had to track it and you had to roam. That's where you get the hunter-gatherer. It's called hunter-gatherers. I turn it on its head, gatherer-hunters. 70% of our sustenance came from the gathering activity, more conducive to women working together versus the hunting because of the simpleness of the technology. So, as this relates to the patrilineal or matriarchal form of organization, the line is determined through the female.
Okay, go ahead and break that down for me.
The line, the unilineal,
No, I mean, I understand that. What's this?
this is a matriarchal chart.
Can you break it down for me?
This just says again, most unilineal groups, whether they're male or female, in this case the female, they're going to answer two questions: who's in the group, who's out of the group, and who can I marry? That's just a fundamental situation. In order to determine that through the female line, that is to say, we have to determine who's in the matriarchy.
Okay.
So then by understanding who's in the group, by definition, you know who's out of the group and not part of the group.
break that
So in this little chart of this small group of people, you see several different designations, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different matrilineals in operation on this small group of people. And it don't seem like a lot of people because from our standpoint as a patriarchal, we're talking about first generation, and I'll circle the nuclear family so we can see it. The father, the mother, 2 kids. Ego is a person who we're talking about at this point in time. And these are just, mothers, brothers and sisters, fathers, brothers and sisters. But in this small group of people, you got 8 different groups in operation at the same time. So by definition, according to the rules of a unilineal descent group, these folks know who in and who out. So for ego here, who's a solid, he got to find somebody to marry. One of the other working relationships in a unilineal group is what's called exogamy, as I mentioned, marriage outside of the group, or association, not necessarily the marriage, the institution, but relationship in terms of who can I have babies with and have a family with. Because we know marriage is a recent institution. It's not something that's always been with us. It's a recent kind of phenomenon. So for Mr. Ego here, who can I marry? Someone who is outside of my group, because I don't want to commit incest. There's always an incest taboo. That is, you don't marry folks who in the group with you, you marry folks who are out. So how do I determine that? A matriarchy, remember, is a unity of certain groups of females within the group. You have mother, auntie, sister, grandmother are the power base in a matriarchy. So that means mother, mother's sister, which is an auntie, right? Auntie, which are your mother's siblings, right? If it's a female, and grandmother. That's your power group. Men are also part of the kin group, because you see some solids here who are men. They're part of the group that they just don't pass the line on. So that's to say then that in this little nuclear family of mother and father with 2 kids, we see that this father, for example, he's not the boss of his kids, he's the boss of his sister's kids. So uncle is what we would consider or extend the relationship of father.
So hold on. So you're telling me in a matriarchal, the actual father is not the disciplinarian for his kids directly.
Biology don't make a difference. It's the social relationship
and
that
it comes through that. So the actual uncle will be the father figure, right?
The power broker in the family, who can boss them nephews and nieces around and tell them to be on the straight
So
and
the
narrow.
question is, well, where's the father? What the father's doing? And you
The
told me
father is in his sister's
business. Oh, so you breaking it? Hey, listen, man.
I mean, it's a simple way, but that's how I tell my students. It's just uncle is in mother's kids relationship, but that biological dad is in his sister's business in Kool-Aid.
Well, listen, I could talk to you all day, man, and I greatly appreciate you taking the time to educate the AkronHipHop.com community and people at large. Ms. Calhoun, how can somebody find you if they want some of this knowledge? Wait a minute, hold on. I usually say I got the knowledge you can't get in college, but you teach this in college. What? I found it?
College, I'm at Kent State University. I'm in cyberspace. Those who know me can find me. Kent State University, Department of Pan-African Studies.
And we definitely gonna be able to see her at the Thai Soul Fusion Grill, Akron, Ohio, Black Friday.
Yes.
All black, everybody, that's the whole vibe, all black. Listen, have some fun and get something done. More importantly, you better film me before they kill me, y'all. Peace.